Oh, Liza Pogan. Oh, Liza. Okay. So right on at 100 yards. I'm surprised how fast the bullet gets down to 200. So these 200 grain bullets, 2,300 feet per second. Hang together well. Yeah, I'm going to give that a go this year. Welcome to the Yukon in North 61. So springtime in the Yukon means scouting. So I've been doing a few little trips looking at sheep. And scouting means you also look for your light little firearm. And here's a fighting carbine, the Winchester 94 Big Bore 375. The more I use it, the more I like this firearm. Come back to the Williams peep sight. And I'm using the Williams peep sight because I'm playing with different bullet weights. And with this and the sourdough front, it's a very good combination, although I like the open sights too. Really like that sourdough front. It's a very fast sight to pick up. The only thing I've done to this rifle is I did fiberglass bed the back, and this is shooting really, really well. And the bullet that I've really favored is the 200 grain Sierra. And I saw my friend Guns 50 test this bullet, and I've tested this bullet, and right out to 2,300 feet per second. It seems to hang together. It turns into a little ball. It's got low sectional density, so it doesn't penetrate super well, but it penetrates well. And it'll go 2,400 feet per second in this carbine. The load with 1680 powder. This 1680 powder, the 375 Winchester, and these 200 Sierras go together really, really well. I turn to reloader 7 when I go with the 255s, but for these light bullets, this accurate arm 1680 really, really works well. Again, I stop at 2,300 feet per second, 2-inch groups at 100 yards. Okay, 75 yards, 2 shots in one hole, 1 shot an inch lower. That's a very accurate load. I'll just get it sighted in. It's starting to rain, I'm gonna go home. 2,300 feet per second. That'll take to 1,600, just under 200 yards. So I think that's a 200 yard load right there. I'll just get it sighted in for 150. And I do have a caribou gun in that 375 with those 200 grain bullets. It'll kill caribou, probably moose. I'd even use it for bear defense. I really like those bullets. They seem to hang together really nicely, and they also are accurate, and you can push them fast out of that 375. That's getting close to the 348, the 358, because of that expansion ratio and that fast 1680 powder. It's got a little bit of kick when you get them up to 2,300. I've been shooting them more like 2,150, and they're very mild. But 2,300, it's a different type of animal. It's good. And it'll keep 1,600 feet per second right out to 200 yards, or just shy of it, where it'll expand. This bullet will expand from 1,600 to about 2,300. 2,300 and over, it gets squirrely. It starts losing its core. It hung together very nice. And that's about, yeah, that hung together very, very nice at 1973. I will add the two 30 grain bullets from Spear that I lathed down from the 235 Spear semi-spitzers. They're a real penetrator bullet. They'll be on at 75 yards when the 200 Sierras are on at about 150. So that'll be a good penetrator load in Grizz country. You know, it might lose its core, on heavy bone at 22, 21, but it's a very, very useful bullet. This bullet might even see me caribou hunting, but I'm going to sling this gun up, and this will be my scouting rifle, 6¼ pounds, fast. 6 rounds in the magazine. It does have a little bit of kick when you speed that bullet out to 2300, but nothing to worry about. But you do know you're shooting something, and I wish I had that original red recoil pad on again. But not too bad. Really, really good rifle. Got a sharper pop for sure when they're going that fast. New addition to my range bag. That's a Bell scope, Bosch and Loam, 20 to 60 by 60 from another era that's really clear. Really surprisingly good. It's not as bright as modern stuff. It's got a bit of chromatic aberration, but for a range scope, it's damn near perfect. I can see holes way out there. Well, it's pretty cool. Biggest thing I didn't do a couple of years ago was really figure out that full curl thing. So this year I'm out there trying to figure that out. So here's a little bit on that. Back down in a valley. There's certainly sheep in here. A little bit of luck, maybe they'll be here now. So there they are, way the hell up there. I couldn't quite see it well enough to know if I was totally focused, and there's a little tremor from the wind. But, you know, this is a Leica spotting scope. It's very good. It's almost perfect. There's still some issues with heat waves and all sorts of stuff, but it's when conditions are good, you can go right up to 50x and see really, really well. So I would spend your money on your spotting scope. Like, I can see those all day long with my naked eye. With binoculars, I could maybe tell that they're rams, or which are rams and which aren't, at this distance, which is about probably 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers maybe. This is just past 2 kilometers by the topographic map. But you need the spotting scope to tell. So the binoculars I don't find all that, important in Dall sheep country. You got to have good binoculars. You don't need great binoculars. You can even use micro binoculars, but you need a good spotter. Spend your money on the spotter. Don't get a Razor. Get a Leica, get a Swarovski, get a Zeiss. Be done with it. Okay, when you're checking these guys out, it's got a little concave between proper annuli, which gives you a clue, but sometimes it's really hard to tell. But this guy here, you can really tell there's a concave between the annuli. There's this little concave on the bottom.